let me quell the myth. A trademark is not just a logo. It's much more than that.
Can I use my trademark before I register it?
Yes, you can start using a trademark, but you could be playing with fire. Will your registered rights be sufficient to enable you to win in either a defence or an enforcement situation?
Brilliant, thank you. Hello and welcome. I'm Robert Games, Managing Director of Albright IP. Welcome to our podcast, Figure 1, an IP Conversation. Today I'm joined by Katie Oliver, an experienced trademark attorney who heads our trademark team. Today we'll be discussing some of the more commonly asked questions that the team are asked on a day-to-day basis. Katie, thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
So, why should I register my trademark in the UK?
Well, put simply, trademark registration will secure immediate legal rights. It will give you enforcement rights and exclusive rights to deter others and keep them away from your trademark. Whilst it's true that trademark rights are accrued on an unregistered basis by virtue of a mark's use, that's under the law of passing off. In contrast, registered rights are immediate, they're strong, and they're cheaper and easier to assert.
Okay, so immediately enforceable rights, and they're cheaper. So when should I register my trademark?
In a nutshell, early doors, and ideally before use of your trademark begins. Before filing, the first step is to search, and that's to check whether a third party has filed the same or a similar trademark. If you launch, you could then be forced to rebrand if you hit up against earlier conflicting rights. You'll have to change your trademark, your company name, your domain name. You even have to defend a legal action, and that could involve the payment of damages.
Okay, so that could be a really expensive thing if you get that wrong.
Very serious.
Okay, so do we routinely conduct searches?
Yeah, we do. We do that on a daily basis, and we tailor our searching to our clients' needs. So most is starting off in the UK, but then looking internationally, and we can do it on a different scale. So we could just be looking for identical trademarks, then we could look more broadly into similar marks as well, and also use on an unregistered basis.
Okay, so you're basically looking to avoid confusion on the trademark registers to avoid problems before they happen.
That's exactly right.
Okay, and so what should I be filing?
This is the critical question. And firstly, let me quell the myth. A trademark is not just a logo. It's much more than that. So the most common trademarks are word marks or combined marks that are made up of a trademark and a logo on its own, or a slogan. But there's also non-traditional trademarks. So think of MGM's Roaring Lion, that's a sound mark. Christian Louboutin's Red Soul is a colour mark. So this might also be a good point to think about what is the difference between registering a word mark and a combined mark, so your word mark and slogan together.
Sure.
Essentially, it's the scope of your rights. The fundamental rule is that a word mark gives the broadest protection, regardless of colour, style or font. But it doesn't protect your logo, so that needs a separate registration. So ultimately the question is, will your registered rights be sufficient to enable you to win in either a defence or an enforcement situation? So it's such an important question.
Okay, so you're just making sure you get off on the right foot. And can I register a slogan?
Yes, slogans are registrable. Think of McDonald's, I'm loving it, or Nike's, just do it. But they have to fulfil the registration criteria like all other marks. So the trademark or the slogan must be distinctive, inventive, memorable. It can't just be descriptive words or generic. It must distinguish and differentiate your goods and services from those of other parties.
Sure. So can I use my trademark before I register it?
Yes, you can start using a trademark, but you could be playing with fire. So our recommendation is always to register it first. Before registration, you don't have the same legal and enforcement rights that you do once you have your trademark registered. Remember, the harsh reality is that if you don't have a registered trademark, even if you've used it, if a third party registers the same or a similar trademark, they could turn the tables and stop you using your trademark.
And I think this is quite a common question. What's the difference between a company name and a trademark registration?
You're right. This is one of the most commonly read articles on our website, and it is commonly misunderstood. So, trademark registration and company name registration are two different and distinct systems. Company names are registered with Companies House, trademarks with the UK IPO. Essentially, a company name identifies your business, and it stops a third party from using exactly the same company name, but it doesn't give you exclusivity to use your trademark or enforcement rights to keep others away in your marketplace.
And actually then, so even if I'm thinking about naming a company, I should be really thinking about the trademark possibly first?
Absolutely. Early doors, think about that trademark, check that it's free for use, and then move forwards from there.
Okay. And are trademark rights territorial, like other IP rights?
Yes, trademark rights are territorial. So you are protected in the country where the trademark is registered or the territory where it's registered. So UK trademark covers you in England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, and also the Isle of Man. Looking further afield to the EU, the European trademark covers all 27 EU member states in a single registration. It's a very efficient and cost-effective system. And then if you're looking for protection internationally, you have the option of filing national trademark applications in those countries, or you could use the Madrid Protocol, where again, under a single registration, you can designate many different countries. This is, again, another useful system. It's renewed centrally every 10 years.
Okay, well, that's great, isn't it? And as a business, where should I think about registering my trademark?
It's another key question. Ideally, your trademark should be registered in the countries where you use it, in the countries where your customers are, and where you manufacture, also where infringement is likely. So most UK-based clients will start with a UK trademark, so they have a strong home right, and then look abroad as they need to. There's a useful period called the priority period, where if you file in the 6-month period following the filing date of your UK trademark, then you can claim the filing date of that UK trademark in your foreign applications.
Sure. This is another common question. What is the difference between the symbols R and TM?
You're right. It is a common question and one that can be misunderstood. So TM means trademark. So the person will be claiming that the trademark is theirs, but critically, it's not registered. In contrast, the R shows that the trademark is registered. You can't use it before you have your trademark registration, but it's a much stronger legal deterrent. So it's showing that you have invested in your trademark and that you're IP aware.
And how long does a trademark registration last?
So a trademark registration lasts for 10 years and it can be renewed indefinitely, provided that you pay the renewal fees. One point to keep in mind is non-use. So there are different grounds of revocation, but one of them is if you haven't used your trademark for a period of 5 years after grant, then a third party could challenge that registration for non-use if you haven't used it in relation to some or all of the registered goods and services. So our advice is to use your trademark consistently and to keep records so that you can show that use in relation to the full range of goods and services, things like invoices, website screenshots, advertisements.
So what happens after my trademark application has been filed?
So this is a really important point and we have to keep all deadlines monitored. Once the application has been filed, the next deadline will be the 6-month priority period where you can file abroad. After that, it's then renewal every 10 years. And this is where Albright's bespoke IP portal comes in really useful so that you can see your portfolio at a glance, you can see where it's registered and also any deadlines or dates that are associated with those trademarks.
Brilliant. Thank you for sharing answers to these questions, Katie. For anyone starting a business, adding brands, or extending products or services overseas, a good brand protection policy is absolutely essential for building value in your business and getting on the right foot. I hope that you've enjoyed listening to Figure 1, an IP conversation today brought to you by Albright IP. We look forward to you joining us next time. Thank you.